Hello everyone, this time we're going to tackle Desert Castle, which seems difficult at first, but is actually deceptively easy. Let's go, Jack. If we come over here, the White Rabbit basically tells us that this level is the level with all the hazards in it. Tons of spikes, huge walls, boulders, quicksand, all that good stuff. I'm pretty sure you can see some of the spikes clearly right up here. In order to avoid them, we just wait until they try to close in, and then stand up on our tongue and jump. The jump is important, otherwise we'll land back on the spikes. The game trying to place these hideous birds in between poles so that way we run into them, but we're too smart for that. Again, another attempt at the same trap. You can expect to see a lot of poles in this stage. I would say this is the stage with the most poles, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Here are two more birds standing in front of some crowns. Simple just jump and spit, something you may not have done very much at this point. We can put down floor spikes by using our tongue, but they come back up when we walk over them, so we need to act quickly. Fortunately, the timing is rather lenient. Here's some moving platforms with arrows shooting out of the walls. If you pay attention to what intervals the arrows fire at, you shouldn't have any issues dodging them. Pretty simple. We can also stick our tongue into the arrows for some reason. And again, up here are more moving platforms. This stage wants you to understand that there are going to be a lot of moving platforms here. There's not very much challenge to these two swinging ones, so I guess it could be considered a bit of a lull, but it's a 4-second lull in an otherwise incredibly good game. Excuse me, I meant level, not game. If 2-second lulls determine your opinion of an entire video game, I'm not sure there's much out there for you. That's a very nice skybox back there. We're going to be doing a lot of vertical climbing right here, which is not something we've done very much up until this point. Most of it is waiting on moving platforms and using the poles to our advantage. The moving platforms are going to come in a much more challenging context later, but for now we're just supposed to get used to them. We are going to be ignoring a majority of the crowns for this level because the things you do to get them aren't particularly interesting or entertaining. And right up here is the promised quicksand, but it's not like the quicksand you may be thinking. This quicksand just moves us, and we can't move ourselves. It's like a conveyor belt, basically. We're meant to use our tongue to grab these poles at the sides of the quicksand, so that way we can adjust ourselves and avoid the boulders. And I think I do that successfully this time around. It's not like you take that much damage from the boulders, but it's still nice to be able to do it successfully. And this is honestly a really inventive hazard that they probably should have used more, but they would have to put the poles in slightly better positions for that. As it is right here, it's just a really, really cute idea. Up next, there's a bunch of harmless platforming with some more of these disgustingly awful birds. Really basic stuff where you swing from pole to pole. These stages can be played in various orders, so maybe they expected you to come here before you went to some of the other places. Still a lot of vertical platforming though. This is my least favorite stage in the game because it has the most filler, but we're talking like 2 minutes worth of filler max. Here's those spiky things in a more challenging context than last time, because now there's a death pit instead of a floor. These birds are very disturbing, in case I didn't get that across yet. Let's bend our tongue back to get on this platform above us, which is something we'll be doing again later. It's kind of a cute trick. And here's some more conveyor belt quicksand, but in reverse this time, which is actually really cool. It acts like ice physics a little bit. Whenever you swing yourself around one of the poles, you continue going in that direction, and you can't change your direction. So you're liable to go flying off the edge if you're not careful. But as long as you're methodical about how you approach the situation, then it shouldn't be all that bad. Plus there's health right here. And right up ahead there's more of the same. But that's okay, because there's more poles this time in a much more interesting fashion. Well, layout, not fashion. Hey, that time we didn't fall off the edge. So that last crown looks like it may be difficult to get, but there's a workaround. We simply jump on it. There you go. Alright, that's it for the quicksand. Now there's more of these spikes. What you're meant to do is use your tongue to propel yourself up to the roof and get these crowns before the spikes come out. And I've been able to do this successfully, like, twice. I'm sure it can be done, but just in case you couldn't do it, there's a ton of health right here. Up next is the end of the moving platforms for this level. It's flying carpets. It starts out very simple, but there are various carpets that move at various speeds, and it gets kind of chaotic. There are two parts that are difficult in particular. We're not to them yet. Right up here is one where we just need to use this carpet as a middle ground. Don't stand on it too long at all. And I would not consider this drop to be one of the difficult parts, but that happened by accident. Again, use this carpet as a middle ground. And this time let's drop down successfully. And we're almost at the last carpet, but one of these carpets pulls a really nasty trick. The one we're on right now, we'll jump off of it, and into safety. Whoop! Yeah, for some reason that last carpet just tries to knock you straight off the other one, and it only does it that one time. I've played through this level several times, and I'm not sure why that particular carpet has a vengeance. But it doesn't do it another time, just that once. We're very near the end of the level, but there is one more hazard left. I guess it's technically more quicksand, but you can move in this one. So I'm not sure if it counts. There are two small sand mouths, and then, over here, one giant sand mouth. These little sand moles can be difficult to avoid when you try to jump out, but you can jump over them as well. And this crown means that it's boss time, so let's see what's in store for us. This is a really cool boss. He burrows underground and tries to jump out at us. He bounces at us for 2 or 3 consecutive times. But after that, his bouncing loses direction and he lands. And that's when he's vulnerable. It seems to randomly decide between a total of 5 or 6 bounces, and if you pay close attention to his animation, you can see exactly when he's going to stop. The trick to avoiding his bounces is to not move up or down, but rather to move at a diagonal angle. You should be able to avoid the sand moles that spawn as a result as well. Assuming you have good aim, you only need one of them. And that's really the whole boss. Say goodbye to Jack, everyone, and next time we're going to be doing the Bane of My Existence level, Kids Land. I'll see you then.